Girls, do you need some water? You sure? We got water for you. We've got two good-looking people and the clown that went over 232 miles an hour. I got to tell you, Scott, first of all, congratulations on your third pole, the Indianapolis Motor Speed. We had two guys vying for it at the end, and we heard your comments that Ed was the guy to beat. And we asked Ed if that surprised him, and he said, yeah, it sure did. Did it surprise you?
Absolutely. I thought maybe the dash had broken on the steering wheel and brought up a fake number. But yeah, I don't know. We seriously, I don't think we expected to see the speed that we did. And the whole, pre-lineup for qualifying, was debating with Chris Simmons, my engineer. I'm like, man, we've trimmed too much. And I was basically talking myself out of it and seeing if he could maybe, put some more downforce in the car. But he was like, man, don't worry, it's gonna be fine. And when I saw that first number, I was like, wow, this is impressive. So obviously a huge thanks to Honda too. They've been pushing extremely hard. I think with the engine, they're definitely pushing it to the limits. So a big day for us. Obviously, this is the pole. I've got to give a shout out to Sebastian Bourdais too. Saw him this morning, and he's doing well. He's a teammate with me in the Ford GT program, and we've spent a lot of time together over the years. And he's a hell of a driver. And to be honest, I think he would have been the one that would have snatched the pole today. So just got to wish him well, and I know he's going to be on the mend quickly, and hopefully he can be in a car here very soon. But today we managed to get it done, and we're starting in the right place. The hard part now is to try and keep it there.
We'll adjust the mics here in case the girls have to say anything. The girl, how did Daddy do today?
Good.
Yes, he did. And because of that, Daddy should take you out and let you have all the ice cream that you could possibly eat. Isn't that right, girls?
Yes.
That's right.
I think just one scoop. Maybe two.
Okay. Both sides, Marshall's got a question, and looks like Bruce has got one on that side. We're going to go back and forth.
Scott, it's been a while since the pole winners won the race here, but you did that in 2008. Do you feel that that's the recipe for your second Indy 500 victory?
It's definitely the goal. The last time we were on the pole in 15, I thought we had a really fast car. We led, I think, over half the race, and ultimately we overheated the car on the last stint, and had to wind up taking a top 5. But this is one thing. Indianapolis is always about two big hills throughout the weeks, and you've got the pole first, the fight for pole, preparation of the race car, and then into the race, and this is the first step of it, but now all focus is obviously quickly transferred to tomorrow. We've got another 4 hours of track time, and trying to make the number 9 car as fast as possible, and today was fantastic, to get the pole, but emphasis is on the 500, and it's cool, obviously getting the pole with NTT data and the number 9 car, and hopefully in the next few days here we'll be announcing the Camping World car, so looking forward to that as well.
Scott, the last time you were on pole here in 2015 was kind of abnormal circumstances, the way that qualifying went down. Does this feel like kind of a more normal process, even though yesterday was still a little weird?
It's been a little weird in the fact that both days we haven't run any practice. So the first time, for myself and my teammates has been, just getting in the car, qualifying. And it's kind of daunting. I'd never done it before. You have all these crazy things that run through your mind, especially when you watch a lot of the other competitors, either touch the wall or have really, bad runs. You think you're maybe heading in the wrong direction, and the computer isn't telling you the right settings for the ambient conditions and things like that. So today was probably, the last 2 days have probably been the most nerve-wracking for me. I don't know whether it's because I'm getting older and emotions are becoming more stronger, but it's definitely a tough. This year I think more so too is that the first lap is if you get the first lap right and you're like, okay, this is not so bad, but lap 2, 3, and 4, the fall off with the tires has been quite dramatic, and that has been the hard thing. If you have a rough first or second lap, that then lap 3 and 4 are really going to be tough, and yesterday that was the case for us. So yeah, it's little bit of a different weekend, I think, for us with how we ran, but I think it was, really exciting for the fans and everybody that, I could hear them cheering and standing up and seeing that in turn one when you're preparing to go out, when some big speeds were going up. So obviously a huge thanks to the fans for coming out today too.
Dix, I have two questions for you. First one, tell me about the work you and Chris Simmons have done, the entire team have done, switching to Honda during the off-season. I think when we spoke at Phoenix preseason test, I don't think we were predicting you're going to be on pole here. How does this feel? Tell me about this process.
I think we kind of felt that this would be our, one of the first strong tracks for Honda with the Aero kit especially. I think, Honda and HPD and the integration that we've had with them, I think is, it's been pretty seamless. Everything is very adjustable and they push to the limit, as we've seen throughout the year. And it's a fun environment to be involved with and whether we thought we would be on the pole, yeah, we shoot for those goals. That's what we're here to do. I think we would have really liked a couple of wins already too in the season, but that just didn't play out. But I think everybody in some ways with the team, it was really good to have a change of scenery and a different look at how we need to do things across the board. And, we made a lot of mistakes last year, and it was nice for everybody to sort of refocus and actually have, kind of that new toy to focus on too and make the most of it. So, everybody in the engineering staff, all the girls and boys at Chip Ganassi Racing at the shop and the people that are on the road, have just done a tremendous job this year to really get the most out of what we have and try and, it's been a 2-year sort of catch-up that we've had to do. The other teams have had the same, manufacturer for that time. So it's been a good transition and a fairly quick one.
Last time we saw speeds like this here, I don't think you'd even come over to the States yet. What does an average qualifying speed of 232 miles an hour feel like from inside the car?
It feels fast. Any speed above 215 or 220 around this place feels really fast. But I think you just block it all out. It's, you're constantly just trying to feel how the car is, see where you can place it, see if you can improve the next lap. It's been so intense this weekend just trying to hold on to the car for the 4 laps. I think that's where all the focus has been. But I think for the Rise in IndyCar series, it's cool to see these speeds gradually creeping up, and it's good to see we made a big improvement. I think I did a 227 average last year, so it's a nice little jump.
Scott, you're talking about those high speeds. We just heard from Ed, and he was saying that he thinks you guys can and should start going faster in the future. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think it's obviously we've been there before. I think with where we are today, obviously we could be over those speeds, quite easily. But there's also the safety aspect of it too, and to be honest, I think for most people, you can't even really tell the difference, whether it's 220 or 236. So it's one of those things. It's a number, and I think for the fans and even for the drivers, if you start getting to those numbers and maybe you can break Ari's average, that would be really cool. So I could see that happening in the next few years.
I got 2 questions, real quick. Here in the media room, they showed your in-car camera. It seemed like you were fighting the steering wheel a bit. Did you have as much handling as you wanted, given the speeds you were going at?
No. Well, it's going to be tough. You trim out here to the max, man. And if you want to get rewards here, you have to go for it. And, Chris was probably a little on the more go for it side than I was. But it was good to have that encouragement. And that's, why he's in the position that he is and why he's been so successful through his career too. So it's, it's a great combination. But the first lap is probably the easiest, and then it's pretty much downhill from that time on. So we had to fight it. You're trying little tricks to help the car throughout the run. You're trying to change the balance throughout the run as well to see if you can help it for the next lap, and just see where the balance is going. But it's you're working, man.
And then you mentioned some of the issues that other teams have had today in turn 2. Was that an issue at all for you? I know you didn't graze the wall or anything, but was that an issue for you nonetheless? And if just what was your general approach going into that area of the track?
Yeah, you're thinking about it a lot. I think I should have been maybe sitting on my bus and watching, Days of Our Lives or something, opposed to watching all the all the drama going out on the track because, you know, you get so amped up, and TK and I were sitting across each other in the engineering room, and everybody knows how animated that guy is, so he was freaking me out, and it was just a bad deal to start with. But you know, you know that's going to be the tricky part. We always knew that with the ambient conditions and how the the wind direction was, but you know, especially yesterday, I think after we saw Seb's crash, you know, that definitely makes everybody, you know, it's kind of there. But, you know, as soon as you strap in the car, you're just trying to, you know, do the best that you can and dial the car on as much as possible.
Scott, will you explain what your two daughters think? Do they understand what you've done? How do you explain it to them?
I think so, right?
Yes.
What happened today? Poppy? Now they're getting shy, eh? On the spot. Yeah. What happened today? You get the pole? No, it's, you know, obviously having kids has been, you know, a huge part of Emma and our lives. You know, it's changes her life in many special ways. But, you know, I think, you know, to build on these memories and you know, we're very fortunate in the Verizon IndyCar Series. It's a very family-orientated business, and especially at, you know, the competitiveness that we have. You know, we have a lot of great friends here, and the girls have a lot of good friends here too. So it's, you know, it's a fun environment to you know, be involved in and, you know, hang out, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Scott, a couple of drivers on their runs nearly kissed the wall with the rears. There were a lot of guys hanging it out there, but your car looked pretty stable at that speed. How stable was it?
There's a trick in doing that, man. No, it wasn't, you know, I think the balance was good. I think we had a little too much understeer in the car, which definitely smoothed some things out. But yeah, you know, turn 2 was definitely tricky today, and I think it was more in how you got the initial timing to turn in. You know, on my second lap, I turned a little too late and had to lift, and later on, you know, I just kind of managed that speed by lifting a little bit to get the front to, you know, turn into turn 2 and then go straight back on the pedal to get it down the back straight. But it's, you know, if the car's good, then your day is a lot easier. And obviously today, you know, Chris and everybody at Chip Ganassi Racing gave me a fantastic car that we could, you know, get the most out of it.
And here's Wolfgang with the one and final question.
Yeah, only one. Scott, congratulations for
Thank
the
you.
pool. I think within the next days before the race, you have to do with some other drivers a tourney around America to a couple of cities and to promote this race. How stressful is this, and how you can handle that?
I don't, you know, it's not too bad. I think the hardest part of, you know, the week leading up to the 500 is you're basically trying to predict things, right? You know, everybody asks you, how do you think you're going to do? How's the race going to go? You know, it's so hard to talk about the race continuously before you've even done it, and you know, you have to be positive, you know, but there's always some doubts, you know, in your mind, especially after Monday. We'll see how Monday goes tomorrow, and you know, another 4 hours in the car, which should be some, you know, some very good prep. But you know, I'm looking forward to, you know, a couple of days off. Obviously, I've got media on Tuesday and heading to Toronto, so love going to that town, and definitely excited about that. But yeah, it's a tough week. It's probably the hardest week because you're not really in the car much, and you're talking about, you know, what may happen. So you know, I think once you get to race day, you know, you're glad that you're finally there and you're in the green room and ready to go.
Congratulations to the girls and the old man in the middle.
Thank you.